Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video today. Bit of a feedback video. We'll go through some of the comments on recent videos, have a bit of a chat about some of those. Also talk about what's happening in the country at the moment, some of the main points, and give you a bit of an update of what's going on in the country at the moment. You can see here that I am today on my couch. Can't go outside, raining today, inclement weather, so almost impossible to record the video outside today, and I chose this new setting. Unfortunately, I don't have an attractive background. As you can see, I've got these sound panels up here on the wall, and to be honest, I prefer to record outside because you don't have to worry so much about lighting. Lighting is normally taken care of. If I record here in the studio, I have to worry about artificial lighting. I'm not an expert on lighting, so it's not easy for me to get that part of the video perfected. But anyway, I've got the video, I've got the sound, I've got some decent light set up, so hopefully the quality of the video is not going to be too bad. If you hear any extra noise coming in, it's because the next door neighbors are having an argument at the moment. I think it's a father and daughter thing, so if you hear any shouting in the background, that's where it's coming from. Thin walls here, unfortunately. So what's going on in Spain at the moment? Well, as I mentioned yesterday, it's all about curfews. Curfew is the word of the week. All of the press outlets are talking about it. All of the government officials are talking about it. And they're just trying to work out the legalities of imposing a curfew on the population here in Spain, or here in Madrid at least, which is one of the main parts of Spain which is talking about this curfew situation. I have heard other places talking about it as well. Valencia, I think, mentioned something. Andalusia is also talking about getting serious in coming days. But it was the Madrid government who first started talking about curfews, and they're trying to impose a curfew, I believe, from 12 midnight until 6 o'clock in the morning, because they want to try to curb that nightlife activity, parties, people getting together. And of course, we've got some interesting dates coming up with Halloween, and that normally is a fairly big party in Spain nowadays. So the government here in Madrid trying to put a temporary end to nightlife, especially what they call the botellón. I've spoken about this in other videos. Botellón is a street drinking party, if you like. Lots of people get together, go to a shop, buy alcohol, go into a park, find an open space where there's not many people. Car parks are quite popular as well. If they find a vacant car park, they go there, start the botellón, crank the music up in the car stereo, and away they go. That's what the government is trying to crack down on by talking about this curfew from 12 midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning. I think I read today that the government has ruled out another state of alarm, so it's going to be interesting to see what the central government does over the next few days as well. They're talking about this new alert system, which I have mentioned in other videos. There's going to be a different alert scenario for different parts of Spain, level 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course it's all going to depend on the incidence rates in different autonomous communities here in Spain. And I think 250 cases per 100,000 is going to be the benchmark for the maximum restrictions. So if you're in a place with less than 100, you're going to get some type of restrictions, but not the most serious ones. And if you're in a place where there's more than 250 cases per 100,000, then those maximum restrictions are going to apply. So for example, Madrid, Aragon, Navarra, and various other places around Spain, Catalonia, I think as well, Castilla y León, Castilla-La Mancha, I think even Andalusia is above that at the moment, so get ready down there for more restrictions in coming days. And I saw a comment or two in the comment section saying that there's going to be another nationwide lockdown. I don't think that's going to be the case. They're going to use this curfew system, which is going to limit people's movements, particularly at night. So I don't think there's going to be any problems for people to go to work, go to school, go to university, but there might also be some restrictions in particular autonomous communities. And of course, we saw yesterday that Navarra in the north of Spain has closed access to and from that particular region. So unless you've got a very good reason, you can't leave Navarra and you can't go into Navarra either at the moment. If you're not familiar with Navarra, it's where the city Pamplona is. Pamplona is the capital of Navarra. Of course, everybody knows Pamplona from the running of the bulls. So that's the part of Spain that we're talking about. And as I just said, that could also be something that other autonomous communities do, shut down their borders so that people can't go in and out. But that, I think, will be one of the more drastic measures. And it's happening in Navarra at the moment because they have a very high incidence rate of over 1,000 cases per 100,000, the highest in Spain by a long way at the moment, and that's the reason they've shut the borders there. Now, I saw another comment from somebody saying, is the country open at the moment? The answer to that is yes. You can travel freely all over the country except for Navarra. Let's say, for example, you were coming down from the UK and you went to Santander or Bilbao. You could hop in your car and travel down to the south of Spain. You could also travel to Alicante, to Valencia, to Murcia, wherever you wanted to go. You can travel through Madrid, there's no problems there. I was on the highway the other day and I didn't see any police checks. Not to say that there aren't any checkpoints around the country at the moment, there are, but if you have a justified cause and you are traveling to another part of Spain, there's no reason for the police to stop you and turn you back, I don't think. Now, I saw another comment from somebody picking me up on my pronunciation of Barcelona. Do I say Barcelona or Barcelona? Well, here in Spanish, obviously, I say Barcelona, I say Valencia, I say Palencia, I say Ibiza. But sometimes when I'm doing the videos, I put a more English pronunciation on the words and say, for example, Valencia, Andalusia. And that's one of the reasons why you might hear different pronunciations of these Spanish cities in the videos. But in general, the Spanish that I speak is with the th sound. There are parts of Spain where they speak with the ceseo. As we know, in the Canary Islands, parts of Andalusia also speak like that. There you go, Andalusia, Andalucía. And when it comes to Latin American Spanish, of course, they say Barcelona, they say cabeza, they say cerveza. They don't speak with the th sound. Now, I've talked about this in other videos, but that's just the way that I speak Spanish. That's the Spanish that I learned. And of course, in this part of the world, here in Madrid, everybody speaks with the th sound, which, as I have mentioned, is the same sound that we have in English when we say the word think, thought, thank you, for example. It's the same sound. So it's not difficult to speak with the th sound in Spanish. Now, it's an interesting day today for politics here in Spain. One of the political parties, Vox, has called a no confidence vote or a motion of no confidence against the current government, against the PSOE Podemos coalition, and that debate is being played out in the parliament as we speak, and apparently it's going to go on for a couple of days. Now, the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sánchez, actually came to power because of a no confidence vote. He managed to get rid of the PP party. I think it was back in 2017. He brought a motion of no confidence against the Rajoy government, got the votes necessary in the parliament, and that is how Mr. Sánchez originally came to power a few years ago. And now, as I said, the political party Vox has decided to do the same thing again and try to get Mr. Sánchez out of power. Now, if you're not familiar with the political party Vox here in Spain, it's a fairly new party. It's only been around for a few years, and I think at the moment they're the third most represented party in the Spanish parliament. They're a right-wing party. Some people might even label them an extreme right party, but let's just say that they're further right than the Partido Popular. And the Vox leader, Santiago Abascal, is a former PP politician that left the PP to join this new party Vox. And of course, as I said, what they're trying to do is get rid of the current coalition government, get an alternative government. Obviously, they would like to be part of that new government if they are successful. But according to what I'm reading and hearing, nobody seems to think that they're going to be successful with this motion of no confidence. But we'll wait and see. Vox is of the opinion that the current government is destroying the country, destroying the institutions, like, for example, the monarchy, and that the government's main plan is to turn the country into a left-wing dictatorship, and that current-day Spain, with all its customs and traditions, is at risk of being destroyed. So if you were a time traveler and you arrived in Spain today, you might be confused and think that it's 1936 all over again if you went to the parliament today. And that is one of the big problems that Spain has, in my opinion, this huge political divide between the right and the left, between Podemos and a party like Vox. You get the impression that Podemos wants to change everything, that they're not happy with the way Spain is. And of course, Vox has that opposite point of view, that everything is fantastic, that Spain is the best country in the world, and that everything needs to stay exactly the way it is. Podemos, for example, wants to ban bullfighting. Vox comes out and says that we need more bullfighting arenas in the country. Podemos comes out and questions the role of the monarchy in modern-day Spain. Vox doubles down and says that it's the most sacred institution in the country and can't be touched. So those are just two examples as to why these two political parties will never see eye to eye. So on that note, I'll start to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out as you normally do. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.